Hey, I'm Kaiti Dalton, and I'm a comedian in LA, and I just wanted to sit down and have a little chat. I don't really know what to call these, but so basically, let's just give you a little like update and everything. I moved to LA 3 years ago, and in the second year after trying a bunch of different careers, found comedy. I literally walked into a bar and they were doing an open mic, and they were like, does anybody else want to come on stage? We have a suggestion box. A lot of open mics have a box of suggestions that you pull out from, and you can kind of riff from that. And so they said somebody said something that reminded me of my friend who's into some kinky stuff, extreme kink. And so I was like, okay, I can go on that. And so I kind of started riffing about that and took from the suggestion box, and I got laughs, and I was like, oh, okay, I really like this. And I've always I grew up in a really funny family. My dad is hilarious. Maybe not a funny family, but it's just my dad. So yeah, and I just started to have fun with it. I started to write jokes and just come up with funny things, and I went to my first open mic, and of course I brought my dad. And I say some crazy sexual things sometimes, so it's really funny that people can kind of see into our relationship, because my dad's a single dad, so he's always, and he's my only parent, so he knows what it's like to have a girl, and he's always been super cool about boys and me talking about boys, and the relationships I have, I can always talk to him about it, and he is very respectful towards all of the men I'm around. So relationships like that feel very easy for me, so I feel I can talk a lot about those relationships. And for me, it's such a fun thing to think about, is that being that intimate with someone sexually has there's so much juice there. There's so much that you can pick out that's funny, that you're there's awkwardness, still I'm a 24-year-old woman, and there's still some weird things that happen sometimes, and you're oh, sorry. There's all kinds of crazy things that you think about, and especially as you get older, you start to kind of get into more things that you like, and they start asking you things to do, and you're oh, I never heard of that before. So it's so much fun for me, and I've always been very fluid in that situation, and I've always found it fun. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about that. So I think that's where a lot of my comedy comes in, because that's just something that I am okay with, and always been okay with to talk about too. I've always been able to talk about that with my family, talk about boys, and oh my god, this happened, and was that weird? Not to my dad, but to my friends, and all those things. It's oh my god, my friend, she was nervous about giving this guy a blowjob, and so she looked up how to give a guy a blowjob, and there was this lady who had a banana, and she was this is how you do it, and she was going crazy. If you ever look up how to do a blowjob and you see a lady with a banana, you have to watch it, because she's going crazy with this banana, and my friend's I think I'm gonna do this to him, and I was kind of the older one in the group, and I was don't, please don't. That's not, like, I don't know what she has been doing, but, like, that's not it. So I think, like, just, like, things like, that's hilarious, right? And so, like, right now, I should probably write that down, right? And, like, kind of riff off of that. And so that's kind of where my comedy comes in. So that's really fun. Also, I am doing Groundlings School, which is an improv theater in LA. I mean, like, there's Second City in New York and Chicago, and I think even Canada. Yes, Canada. Martin Short went to the one in Canada. Julia Louis-Dreyfus, who played Elaine on Seinfeld, she went to the one in Chicago. And Melissa McCartney went to the one to Groundlings in LA. And Christian Wiig, Will Ferrell, Pee Wee Herman. Like, I did not know this, but Pee Wee Herman did his, like, he developed his character at Groundlings, and, like, I'm going to the same school and, like, figuring out how to do improv there. And I just think that's kind of mind-blowing. Like, Pee Wee Herman went to the, like, was in the same building I was. I mean, maybe they moved, but I bet they didn't. And so it's just really cool to be a part of something, like, so iconic, especially coming from, like, I came from a town of 12,000 people. It's grown a lot since I left, which is crazy, but, like, thinking about that and, like, thinking about where, like, that's so weird, right? And so I've always, like, tried to stay really grateful for that, because I think a lot of people in LA lose sight of things like that. And so, yeah, I just want to be really cautious of, like, staying grateful, because LA is hard. Like, it's hard to understand where people come from, especially coming from a small town. There's, like, so much rules in a small town. Like, there's things that you abide by, right, in a small town, because everybody knows each other, your parents know each other, like, and so, like, in LA, it's so different because everything's, like, free, and you're like, I don't like it, like, somebody make a rule, you know? And so that's been really different. And I think also, like, I have amazing friends, but I don't have, like, that person that I can call right now and be like, do you want to go see a movie? Like, I don't have that. Like, I have friends that I go out with, and, like, I have a really good group of friends, and they're amazing, and I love them, but we're all busy, and I feel like we're all caught up in our own lives to kind of, like, you know, like, kind of really hang out like that, and which I'm fine with, but, like, it's a little weird to hear, like, people from my class that were in Groundlings, they were like, oh yeah, like, I have the AMC pass, which is, like, the movie theater pass that you pay for. It's like $30 a month, and you get, like, free stuff, and it's, like, coupons. And I'm like, dude, I've been to, like, one movie this year. And they're like, that's crazy, like, it's so nice, like, last minute I can just call my friends and, like, we can go to a movie. And I'm like, what? And, like, everybody said the same thing, and I was like, am I, like, really involved in my work? But I think that's just, like, the sacrifice that you have to have, that being busy like that kind of cuts off from people, because they don't know when you're free. And I don't know, I kind of like cutting off access like that, so I feel like I can go home and I can work and I can make videos and I can, like, do things and be alone. Like, I love having that time. And also, like, creating that time for yourself, so much creative things can happen. So yeah, I'm almost done with my Groundling school. I have 3 more classes, which is crazy. There's, like, 6 weeks of classes, so I basically have, like, a week and a half, which is wild, and then I'll see if I can go to the next class. I feel like I really improved. Like, there's a lot more rules of improv that I thought there was going to be, especially as a stand-up. It's hard to understand that sometimes, because, like, the stage is yours as a stand-up, and you can just like say whatever you want. And to go to groundlings, it's like, no, like I want to know these things, like who are you and what are you doing, and where is this happening? And it kind of like honestly sets it up for a joke. So it's like, now I understand how an audience wants things. And so now I'm like, okay, like now I can put that into my writing because it makes more sense to a viewer's brain to know where you are, who you're with, like any storytelling, any script. Like the first thing you figure out in a script is what kind of relationship that person is in, what city they're in, where, like, are they in an apartment, are they in an office building, and then like what they're doing, you know, that like from the front of a script. So I think like anything, like improv is so important, and I never thought I would say that, and so it's really cool to like find a new passion in comedy. And yeah, I just wanted to give you guys kind of like I don't know, I don't like the words life update, but like kind of, or like tell me about your no, like I just wanted to talk to you guys. Okay, that's it. So yeah, okay, bye.